Alright, guys. We've got CLEM in the top right side of the map with Team Liquid's mana. Team Liquid sticking with the mana CLEM combo for their 2v2s here in the Crank Gathers tournament. And of course, in the top left, we've got SERRAL. But this time, instead of Trigger apparently, I think, was traveling to SC4 in America at the time. So they pulled out REYNOR playing Protoss. And REYNOR, we know, is an exceptionally good Protoss player. Very mechanical, very greedy. I do wonder if these guys are going to be syncing up at all. I feel like I would worry that Trigger might think out the strategy a bit more, and REYNOR might just go in and click buttons. I don't know. You'd think him and SERRAL would have a good chat. They are good mates. But part of me always expects REYNOR to kind of go in and just try to feel his way through the game. Like, REYNOR's always been the guy who rocks up to a big semi-finals, finals, drops a map or two a little sloppy, and then he switches on and goes. But these are single maps, and if you guys aren't familiar, we are casting all of the single maps between SERRAL, REYNOR, and CLEM Mana in this series. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3 maps. Obviously, depending on how the series goes. This is one of the later matches in the tournament, so the 2v2 matches is 1 in every 3 matches is a 2v2. So you could get up to 3 of those matches. We're just going to cast these and kind of keep tally of the scores. I'll add some scores down here as it goes on. But it's not like a best of or anything for those who aren't familiar with the format. It's part of a team league, and these are interspersed with other 1v1 games. But throwing that all together, it's a massively long series because they do best of 13s. So I can't really cast them all in one video. I figured, hey, let's just watch the progression of 2v2s between Basilisk and Team Liquid and see how we go. We already cast an earlier match where SERRAL and Trigger did manage to 2-0 Mana and CLEM. We'll see if CLEM and Mana have kind of learned from that and figured something else out. So you can see Mana's a little slower to the expansion. He's going for a quick double gas. I assume he wants to have a nice quick Stargate, get an early Oracle out. That's even before expansion, though. I don't know if this is worth it. So the problem with going this early into Stargate, unless you're planning to play 2 Stargate Phoenix and have CLEM feed you a little bit of money, which, yeah, it might be the case. I'm not sure what the rules on feeding money are in this tournament. Could be kind of tough. Mana tries to block with a Zealot and 2 Zerglings. The Zealot should just be attacking the Pylon. The Lings will deal with that probe. Throws another Pylon down? I don't think that's that effective. I think with an Adept, a Zealot, and a few Zerglings, this should be easy to get this Nexus down. Then again, oh, he actually lets it go. REYNOR should not have let that Reaper away. Doesn't get the probe, though, so I guess it's fine. Thought the Adept would easily kill that Reaper. I think that was a bit of an overcommitment for CLEM and Mana. They do delay the Nexus, and it's actually later than their own one. Meanwhile, it is going to be a second gate and a sentry for REYNOR. Oh, very defensive. I dislike this opening. I think in 2v2s, the faster you rush for tech units, the bigger advantage you get. But I love this. REYNOR runs it, and he pylon blocks the factory landing on the reactor. Oh, that is brilliant. Dude, that is a spite pylon if I've ever seen one. CLEM now has to just keep putting Marines and Aliens one at a time for a little bit. That's crazy, though. Oh, that's so annoying. This is 100% worth the 100 minerals just to annoy your opponent. Because he was going to have early double Hellion production out, and now that's denied. Phoenix are building, and we'll see how we go. Dude, I love a spite pylon. Sometimes that's actually, like, if you're playing Protoss and you want to do, like, a fun challenge, but, like, not too challenging, just try and do spite pylons every game. Block add-ons, block building placement, build it in their production just to see what tech they go for. Just try to build it in the mineral line to block their workers. Spite pylons are one of the funniest things. And it is going to be 3 Stargates? Mana going triple Stargate Phoenix. Meanwhile, REYNOR's just going to go Blink. Dude, I think if SERRAL can just get a layer up and go Hydras, and they just go Hydra Blink, I think that kind of wrecks Mana CLEM here, doesn't it? Then again, maybe the Phoenix can get in and slow SERRAL down. If he can start finding SERRAL's Overlords, you can see SERRAL's changed his rally point here next to the Spore. This one, onto the Spore. And his third base, he'll probably also change the rally point there because he doesn't want Overlords rallying between his bases. And he'll probably leave these Overlords just hidden on the edges of the map. Hope they don't get found here on Gem Garden. Hellion's going to try to run in. Zealot, Sentry, Adept, and a few Lings, especially with the Stalkers, should be able to defend quite nicely. And Mana's going to come in and try to find some damage. There are Stalkers here. Can easily pick up a few probes, though. Should be pulling that weak Phoenix away a little bit. And does take a bit of damage on the Phoenix, but already multiple probes going down. Hellion's picking off a bunch of Zerglings. Now a Zealot as well. The Stalkers have all moved to defend the Phoenix. Pretty good control here by our Team Liquid team. Spire! Oh, SERRAL's going to go Corruptors to counter the Mass Phoenix. Interesting. I guess Hydras are very vulnerable against such a massive Phoenix, right? Now, if we look at the worker count, Mana and Clem are on 81 workers. Their opponents are on 87. But Reynor's economy sucks. Only 31 workers, 10 behind. Yeah, it's going to be really tough for him here. Unless they can shut down what's happening next. There's no Spore in this base either. Hellions going to try to run in. These Stalkers need to get down here. And just the fact that Mana and Clem have such a forward position is a really big boost for them. Blink does take out a Phoenix. Nice move for Reynor. Okay, so at least Reynor gets revenge for that one. 7 more drones for SERRAL. His economy is just getting crazy. Oh, good catch there with the Blink. Going to take out 4 Hellions. Is this full mech, guys? No, he's going to swap Bio now. Those Hellions maintaining a bit of map control. They have no straight-up fighting army. Clem and Mana are just pure harassment. It's all Hellions and Phoenix for now. Which means if the Stalkers and then the Corruptors can go to a big push, it might ruin them. So they have to try and transition sideways. +1 air weapons, non-stop Phoenix, and then a fleet beacon. We'll try to make the transition into carriers afterwards. Oh, massive damage, dude. These Phoenix really getting going, aren't they? How many worker kills is that? 16! Reynor's lost 16 workers, SERRAL 4. Only 1 probe's died on the other side of the map. Clem also very active, picking off a few drones. And can he take care of these Lings? The Lings are going to trap him up against the wall. He tries to escape. And he is getting quite a few shots off. Clem does get a few of those Hellions. Ow. Corruptor count is now growing. There are 4 Corruptors, 3 more building. SERRAL has a pretty good economy, but he doesn't quite have the units to shut this down just yet. Almost gets rid of one of the Phoenix, but he can't fully chase. Needs those Stalkers backing him up. Reynor stuck on 2 bases. His third's almost up, but it's been very delayed. Then again, so is Mana's. Clem, of course, is on 3 bases as well now. Let's check that worker count again. 110 for SERRAL and Reynor. Up against at 105 for Clem and Mana. Very similar worker counts. Well, Phoenix going down. Good catch for Reynor. This next bit's going to be so weird, because once Clem gets the Marine tank up, he can kind of solo a Stalker Corruptor Ling army on his own. Like, if Clem can get double upgrades, which he's going for, and just get that up, it's going to be so big. SERRAL does drop some changelings in. He's going to try and scout what's happening. You will see that it's a bio transition. Still no carriers building, guys. This is 4 Stargate Phoenix? Who in the world goes 4 Stargate Phoenix? That's crazy. He's just going to try and overwhelm the Corruptors. He doesn't have Phoenix range just yet. It's about to kick in. So that's going to take him from 5 to 7 range. Corruptors only have 6 range. So you can stack them up and actually kind of outrange the Corruptors. And if you just have a critical mass, you can crush the Corruptors. But you need a lot. Dude. And the thing is, SERRAL doesn't realize, I don't think he knows just how much of a commitment this is. He doesn't have enough to one-shot the Phoenix, which is a big problem. He does get rid of 1 Phoenix, but already losing some Corruptors, and those Phoenix can chase him. I do like the micro from SERRAL trying to, like, volley off, but he doesn't get that Phoenix quite. Oh, man. He does have +1 armor, which cancels out the +1 air attack. The Stalkers are here. The Stalkers will save those Corruptors, and quite a few Phoenix do fall. You can see 7 Corruptors for 9 Phoenix. Think about 7 for 7 there, which I do think Mana's happier probably with that trade. Then again, only 56 workers for him. We've already got 8 gases coming up here for SERRAL. So SERRAL's got an amazing income. Now, Reynor's finally going Templar Archives and +1. Got to be careful with High Templar because they get picked off by the Phoenix very easily. Oh, the Phoenix. They don't want to fight those Stalkers, but they do good damage to the Corruptors, man. He's even going to fight. The Marine tank comes in, and that's what I'm worried about. How do you run away from the Marine tank? Oh god, because they don't have splash damage yet. If they have Storm, they're fine. But until they have Storm, they're in trouble. Stalker's trying to fight against this. The Corruptor's overrun by the Phoenix right now. There's only 9 Corruptors left. There's 19 Phoenix. And you can't run now because the Phoenix can pick you up. This is a huge problem. Massling run by though. SERRAL with a huge run by is going to do big damage. Reynor, though, can't get out because the Phoenix pick up every single Stalker. And that is the power of Phoenix, is you can't get out. You need the answer to the Marines, and they just don't have it. Storm still only halfway done. The Lings are counterattacking, picking off tanks, picking off SCVs, but what a brilliant push. Mass Phoenix for Mana, mass Marine tank here for Clem. And the Corrupted choice, I think, was probably a good idea, but one has to wonder, would Fungal or something have been a better idea? Because it counters Marines and it counters Phoenix, and it gives you the chance to catch the Phoenix and force them to engage you. Maybe try to go Infesta Hydra or something like that, or Infesta into Ultra. I don't know. It looks like they're going to get overrun or at least close to it. There's still so many Phoenix left alive, and even a few Marines left on the ground is a real problem. Picking off that Queen Air. Is he going to try and finish these Corruptors? I think as long as Mana shift clicks them, he could do pretty well. Man, that +1 carapace is so nice on those Corruptors. Really counteracts that +1 bonus damage. But Phoenix and Corruptors kind of rinsing out. The tanks have done crazy damage. Here comes the reinforce, and that should be the game ender. There is a Ling run by on the other side. Yes, Clem's sending Marines to defend, though. He will be able to defend it. The Marines and the Phoenix diving forwards. And SERRAL on Mass Corruptor Ling. But the Stalkers of Reynor are not enough to deal with the Marines, and that's the problem, man. The Stalkers are such good targets for the Phoenix to pick up. If he got to Sidestorm in time, it would have been good, but the Phoenix were always hitting Reynor. Reynor was the guy who had the most exposed natural, and this is the natural base that gets hit by air harass continually. Because of that, Reynor's bleeding out, bleeding out, bleeding out. Finally has Storm at the end of the game, but of course, it's just about, what, a minute too late? 1 minute earlier on Storm, and this might be an entirely different game. All right, nice win there for Mana and Clem in the top left side of the map here for Team Liquid, guys. Same spawns as they match now. This is the 6th set between those two teams. SERRAL on the top right side, Reynor below him here. And we are going to see, yeah, opposite sides of the map now. Mana's going to go for the low ground wall off. Clem with the high ground. He can always come and close the wall off with a depot as well to give them a door later on. Does look like a no scout for Reynor and SERRAL. SERRAL and Reynor are not big fans of scouting. I'm amazed that no one's proxy gating these guys, right? Like, do a 4-gate proxy 3 barracks and go win with Marines and Zealots and stuff, right? I don't know, or get something there. But actually, okay, Reynor is gate scouting. Never mind, never mind. Okay, I thought the Basilisk boys were being crazy greedy because they were very greedy earlier. Then again, I guess Trigger did do a delayed probe scout in their second game. The other series we casted. So, okay, they're not scouting every game. They're mixing it up. They are playing a good mix-up. 2 racks Reaper for Clem by the looks of it. So he's going to do a little bit of a Reaper pressure. But the thing is, I don't think there's a way in the back door. Like, this is all walled off. Unless you get over here and mine these minerals open, which I'm not sure how many worker trips that takes. It doesn't feel like there's really many ways in, right? You can kind of just run in the front. There's not a lot of ledge abuse you can do until you get to here. Maybe you can jump that. And I imagine you can probably jump here as well. Zealot is building for Reynor. Wants to make sure they don't get blocked. Good choice. 2-gate for Mana before expansion. Versus, this is only one gate, but it's double gas. So Reynor wants faster tech. Mana wants to just get a few adepts across the map. 3rd barracks. What? They've seen 3 barracks. Clem is playing 3 barracks, 2 gas Reaper. This is a terrible map for this. Guys, do these pro gamers even look at the maps? Dude, he can just literally... Oh, he's gone 2nd gate. I thought Reynor would just build a Stargate and shut this down. I feel like if he just gets an Oracle, it's like almost a free win. But I guess the Stalkers might join up. 3 racks Reaper can't be good. Surely SERRAL just masses Lings. You make 2-gate Adept Stalker. 3 racks Reaper on this map. I don't know if I'm missing something. It's a big rush distance and there's no really good ledges to abuse. Okay, there's a ledge there that I missed. I guess that helps from the links around. Let's see what can happen. Pig, do you have Madalena over Makachev in UFC tonight? Oh, that's tonight! Oh, I forgot that was already on. I guess it's tomorrow morning for me. Where are they fighting? I need to check the time zone of when that starts. Let me know how many hours. I have no idea, dude. I mean, I have no idea. I'll be cheering for Madalena, of course. JDM. See if that Craig Jones training helps. Adepts coming in. Reapers gonna try and fight. Nice snipe for Mana to stop. Now they got to get out before the Lings get any sort of wraparound. The Reaper count starting to grow. 3 Reapers there. 4th, 5th, 6th, all rallying across the map. Still non-stop Reaper production. Behind this, we've got a Nexus, a Twilight Council, and a Command Center on the way. But they need to do damage. Let's see what they can find. That Queen, she turns, she targets the weak Reaper, and she's gonna get it. Almost. No, not quite, not quite, not quite. Almost, but not quite. Getting that Queen kill is huge, though. SERRAL wandering a bit too far off creep. He could have pulled that Queen back, and then he could have had 2 Queens plus these 3 Stalkers of Reynor. And together, that can easily wreck the Reapers. Not to mention the Adepts, I don't think are that much of a threat. You got to worry here, because if the Adepts can get in and tank a little bit, and the Reapers start bouncing the Stalkers with grenades so they can't attack constantly, and the Reapers could spiral out of control. But it's actually Tech Lab Reactor, and it's going to be Glaive Adept for Mana. Oh, okay. I don't like this. Unless, because Glaives is going to hit way before Stim. That's my, so what I guess he can always delay it, but do you do a Mass Adept Marine push? I mean, Lings will suck. And SERRAL's not building Roaches, which is incredibly dangerous. A lot of people like to do this. I was talking to Lambo and Harstem about this a little bit with our 2v2 tournament over at Stellarfest, and I was like, Don't get me wrong, Lings can be good, but it's so dangerous. And the most solid way to play as Zerg is to play Roaches. Because if you play Roaches, you can always cover your teammate at a moment where they're weak and they need to get another upgrade or they're waiting for Storm. You can't do that with Lings. Lings, basically, the whole thing is I'm just going to friggin' try and defend. Dude, what are these Stalkers doing on the map? That's crazy to be on the map right now. I guess the Lings are nearby. But dude, Glaives is almost finished. This is really bad. They don't have a Bane Nest. Now they're going to go Bane Nest. The problem is the Banelings don't trade well the longer the game goes, but against Mass Reaper Adept, I mean, Banelings are kind of a necessity. I don't think, even with Blink getting about halfway done, I don't think Blink could really necessarily stop this attack. Stalkers, of course, with a battery will trade pretty well. Ling's looking for a potential wraparound. Let's see what he can get done. Stalker's trying to pull back. Stalker's trying to pull back. Adepts are going to shade forwards. All right, Reaper's trying to rotate. Adept's trying to pull to the left side. Stalker's going after them. Main card starts in just 4 hours. Oh, right, because it's Sunday. I'm doing best games a day later than I normally do. Right. That's why I was confused. I was thinking it was Saturday. Sunday here right now. Adept Reaper coming forward. One Stalker goes down. Another Stalker's about to go down. Reaper grenades do go out. Oh, Ling's getting bounced. Adepts, dude, the Lings are so bad against this Adept count. I feel like SERRAL should be counterattacking right now. I don't think he can commit to this fight. The problem is if you commit to a fight, those Adepts are just going to mince the Lings. But he's kind of stuck on these Lings. He didn't make any Banes. He probably should have. And now it's kind of all on REYNOR to defend, which he's doing a good job of. He can kite for days, but the Lings should have been cutting off the reinforce. They should have been ruining this setup. But this is the problem that Zerg players get into. They want to help their teammate with Zerglings. Zerglings are useless in a frontal fight in many different scenarios. And now the Stim Marines are here. Banelings are going to run forward. I think they've got to just abandon this base. The Probe's getting rinsed by the Adepts. The Ling Bane comes back. And SERRAL trying to help front on, but Ling Bane does not pair up well with a Blink Stalker army. These are two armies that do not work together. They work apart. I think SERRAL trying to support REYNOR here was a huge mistake. I think he should have left REYNOR on his own, completely counterattacked, pulled all of their units away, and then let REYNOR barely hold on with Stalker battery defense. As you can see, the Stalkers are getting overrun. The Marines are on top of them. Beautiful attack here by CLEM and Mana. The 3RX Reaper into the 3RX Marine. The Marines are starting to go down now, but I think they've already done so much damage. REYNOR lost every probe on his natural, wasn't able to evacuate it. And now he's down to 4 probes on his expansion. SERRAL's got 6 on his expansion, 6 more there. You look at the other guys, fully mining natural. They could take third bases. And this has just been excellent. Of course, unless the counterattack can do big damage. What is it? 40 Zerglings, 3 Stalkers. There's still 16 Marines, 2 Medevacs with Stim. Not to mention Glaive Adepts that can warp in to deal with those Zerglings as well. Third Nexus does go down. Oh, Ling's coming forward. Stalkers as well. Double drop does go north. Oh, this double drop could end them. There are Stalkers warping in. I think they maybe glimpsed it. Okay, they realized. REYNOR is going to recall his Stalkers. It's still only like 6 Stalkers, though. Marines unload. They're going to stim in the back door. There's some Lings trying to join up with the Stalkers. Maybe together they can deal with this. Queen goes down almost instantly. Stalkers, of course, are a unit that slowly picks at the enemy and then tries to retreat. But, oh, he gets a medevac. Well played by REYNOR. Meanwhile, Lings slide into the back door. SERRAL going backdoor bandit mode again, this time forcing Mana to recall home. Adepts warping in up north. The Lings, they're going to find a bit of damage, a lot of mining time, but I think overall pretty good defense. Lingbane trying to defend these Adepts coming in for Mana, causing havoc. He cancels the Shade Air. Does let just one go in. It gets cleaned up by the Stalkers, but dude, REYNOR's economy just keeps getting minced. I think really what we've got to look at in this game is just the fact that I think SERRAL pulling back his Lings was the big mistake. I think this is something where when you play Lingbane, I think a lot of the top players, they kind of have a mindset of this is a solid style. It's not. If you're playing Lingbane, it should be thought of as mass Zergling and just never fight front on. Your teammate kind of has to think of themselves as an island. They're not going to get a lot of support from you. And I think that was something where SERRAL and REYNOR clearly didn't mentally prepare for that before the game started. You guys let me know if you think I'm wrong. I just feel like there's no way Ling's a unit that has to run in, surround, and win a fight as quickly as possible, or they just die because they're so fragile. It doesn't pair up with Stalkers that are a hit-and-run unit. You know, especially in this scenario, I think this is the case. REYNOR saves one Stalker across that exceptionally long blink. But look at this. Prism harassment comes in as well. They're mauling them. I think Basilisk are done here, man. Look at this. The Marine Widowmine coming in. Going to try and defend it with Storm, but at the same time, a Depth Stalker denying this base in the bottom. Widowmine, oh, he's trying to target the High Templar. Dude, the Widowmine retargeting, even unburrows it there as well. Baits the Storm out. Finally, the Widowmine does go down, but he's going to escape. And Serral's trying to defend Reynor's natural mineral line, but the Prism is being so annoying. Mana having a party. Finally, these Stalkers get jumped on by Serral in the bottom, who's got +2 melee lings. These lings kick ass. But look at that. Clem's got a huge army coming through the middle. Massive bio parading forwards. And Mana's still making the most of these units, not letting them all just die for free. Reynor's random Stalker caught outside. Drop goes in the back door. Does end up going down. He's going to try and focus down a High Templar, but Reynor quickly pulls it back. He says, "Nuh-uh, Clem, calm down, mate." Storm's trying to hold the ramp. Clem does eat some of those Storms, but he splits his army pretty nicely. There's a lot of Ling Bane coming in from behind. Widowmines will land some decent shots. A lot of the Marines are deep in the red, but they are still alive. Mana with a big warp in on the front. The supply advantage is just monumental. Serral and Reynor are doing an excellent job of almost defending, but they're just not quite able to do it. And that is looking like a really good way of fighting back here. Reynor and Serral have to tap out Mana and Clem. Getting the 2-0. Serral and Reynor perhaps missing the absence of Trigger here as he was traveling during this one. But if we go back to when that big push was coming, guys, about, what, 5 minutes or so, I truly feel this is just like, this has to be the default. Yes, you could maybe get Banelings and surround the Adepts and crush them or whatever. But even then, think about it. Stalkers aren't working with that army. What do I mean? Stalkers don't help. If you get enough Ling Bane to surround this army and kill it, that's independent of the Stalkers, right? Serral has to pull off that move on his own. Stalkers just don't mesh with that army. Stalkers are a shoot, pull back, shoot, pull back, shoot, pull back sort of unit. And Serral had a lot of +1 melee Zerglings. He's got 40 drones. He's got his 3 hatcheries up. The only thing he's missing is he should have a 3rd queen down here injecting. He's just sending her down now. But if these lings are intercepting these Adepts, if they're trying to tear down this reactor and depot, trying to hit the wall off a little bit, at least 20 lings should have been stopping the reinforce. Even if it's just 20 lings, you're like, force him to delay and then bring it back as a flanking force from behind, that would have been okay. But I think whenever you try to just play like a standard defensive style, what Serral did here, this works if you play Roaches. If you want to play generic 2v2, you play Roaches. If you're playing Lings, you are playing Risky Boy StarCraft. And I think Serral here learning the hard way that you cannot just pair up and fight like a normal army. It's a melee force. It's about flanking. It's about counterattacking. And when you do fight, usually what you want your opponent to have no reinforcement, to be overextended, and you come in with one sudden crushing surround, which they never really got here. I also think the other thing is Reynor should have abandoned these workers much quicker. This shade is brutal. I think it happens about 6.5. Because they did, like, Reynor did such a good job of buying time. Was it this one? Maybe the next one. There was some moment where these Adepts go in. Yeah, this is it. And Reynor's got a good economy, 42 probes at this point, but he fights with his probes. And even just that 1 second of fighting and then not mineral walking them away, the whole mineral line disappearing was tragic. If they managed to get those out of there, maybe if Serral more Banelings a bit earlier or something, could have been different, but really well played by Clem and Mana. GG.